everyone, welcome to the series of creating React application using Redux. So far in this series, we have implemented displaying displaying post data on home page, add new post, view post on single page, edit post, and then add reactions to each post, along with that we have implemented adding author name as well as post creation time to each post. Along with that, we have implemented one crucial functionality as part of this series, that is persisting state with local storage. I will attach the playlist containing 6 videos. Please watch it to follow along. Okay. Now in this video, I will show you building a component called PostActions. That contains various action buttons. Like, comment, send and share for a post with an interactive features. Also, we will implement like functionality similar to what we have in Facebook. I will show you the exact replica or exact design what we're gonna achieve after this video. Okay, this is what we're gonna implement at the end of this video. Like, when user places mouse cursor over like button, a reactions pop-up will appear and it gives user ability to add reactions, and the respective reactions will display on top of action buttons, that is just below post content. Okay, so at the end of this video we will implement one thing is adding action components or action buttons for each post, as well as implementing like functionality similar to Facebook. Let's start designing component called PostActions that shows various action buttons. Okay, let me create a file, postactions.jsx, add basic functionality of the component, and then let's add this component inside post list component after post content. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this reaction buttons for now, and then we will add it later. Okay, let's use it. Okay, save it, and then let's go to the browser. And then check how it's displaying. You see here, yeah, now we are now displaying post actions just below post content. But if you see here, what we want to achieve at the end of this video is it should have like a border, and then it should display all action buttons like, comment, send and share. Above the border we will be displaying reactions and its count for each post. Okay, for that let me add top border. For that, go to VS Code. Okay, this I am using Tailwind CSS for styling. The T. Okay, let's save. then go to browser. Yeah, you see now. Let's go to here. Yeah, now we are having border above, just above the actions component, just above the actions component. Now let me add like, comment, send and share action button component inside post actions component. Okay, inside post actions component. For that, in order to make use of, or in order to use icons, that if you see here, like icon, comment icon, WhatsApp icon and then share icon, we should add one package to our project, that is React icons npm. It's a popular library which contains lot of icons which you can use across your React applications. Okay, now first let's add this package to our project. Copy this command, and then go to terminal, go to terminal, paste it and then press enter, Once we install React icons package to in our project, we can use lot of icons available in that package. Let's clear. Now we are now done with installing React icons package in our project, in our React project. Now let me start designing. Each action button inside post actions component. Before that, let me copy all required icons for our demo, and then add those import statement here. Okay, for that let me go to browser and then click on here, click on this repository link and then click on this link here. Search for, first is like, for that go thumbs up. Yeah, I want to use this icon for like button. Okay, copy this import statement by clicking on it, and then come to VS Code, paste it here. In the similar way, I will copy remaining components icons as well, remaining component icons as well. For that, comment, let's copy this, let's copy and then go to VS Code, paste it here. Again, the next one is send, that is WhatsApp icon, copy this import statement, add it to the import section. Now let's add send icon. Okay, we are now done with send icon. Share icon, copy this one here to code, then paste it here. Now let's start using those icons and then design our action buttons. First thing is I am going to design like button. Which contains like icon as well as like text, Okay, for that let me use div. Inside div, what I'm going to do is, first let me add the like icon and then like text, okay. In the similar way, let me add all action buttons. One is, this is comment, copy this, paste it here, comment. Next is WhatsApp, that is for send, the last one is share, okay, and the last one is share. Here paste it, rename this to share. Okay, now let's save it, let's save it, and then go to browser. Yeah, if you see here, we are now seeing all action buttons, that is like, comment, send and share, but they are not aligned horizontally, they are vertically aligned. Let me add some styles to make it horizontal, okay. For that, what I'm going to do is, let me add some styles to this. Let me add some styles to outer div, display flex, position, relative position, okay, items, item center on y-axis, and then justify between flex items, to have equal gap between flex items, okay. This is about adding styles to outer div, and then let me add some margin top as well, margin top 2, okay. Now let's save and then see, let's save and then see, in the browser. Yeah, if you see now, it's all action buttons are arranged in horizontal fashion, or placed in horizontal fashion, but you see the icon and the text are not side by side, they are top and bottom, okay. Now let me add some styles to adjust the each action button, okay. For that, let's go to VS Code, add some styles here, class name, again the display is flex, okay, and then space between each flex item is 1, aligns items center on vertical, that is y-axis, relative position, cursor pointer, when cursor, let's save, copy this and apply to all action components, save it, go and check in browser. Yeah, now they are properly aligned and they look similar to what we want to achieve at the end of this video. If you see here, it's similar to what we want to achieve at the end of this video, okay. Now after this, what we want to do is, we should initialize, okay. Let's go to VS Code, and then let's initialize a state variable. Called Harvard post ID. This Harvard post ID to keep track of in which post the like button is being hovered over. Okay. For that, I am using a state variable with the help of use state hook. Let's add it here, and then set the initial value to null. Okay. Now let's format this. Okay. Now what we have to do is, when user moves cursor over like button, we want to display reactions pop-up, right? Before that, let me add some styles to text as well. Okay, let me add some styles to text as well. Text font size SM small, text color, text gray, text gray. Okay, copy this to remaining components as well. Remaining components as well. Save it. Save it. See how they are looking. Yeah, now it looks more clean and beautiful. More clean and beautiful. Okay. Now the next step is we added or we initialized one state variable, that is hovered post ID, to keep track of in which post the like button is being hovered over. Okay, I'm adding this. So now the thing is, whenever user moves cursor over like button, I want to display reactions pop-up. Okay, I want to display reactions pop-up. For that, let me add one event, that is on mouse enter. For which let me add event handler function handle on mouse enter, for which I should pass post ID. Why? Because whenever we hover over on like button, I want to update my state. I want to update the state of hovered post ID for the post ID in which the like button is hovered over. For that, I'm actually passing post ID to this event handler function. So let me handle const post ID. I simply set or update the state variable to respective post ID. Okay, so that this makes or this ensures that we are showing reactions pop-up only for the post where the like button is being hovered over. Okay, not for all posts. For that, I'm keeping track of on which post user placed the cursor over like button. Okay, for that this is. So the next thing is, when user leaves or when user moves the cursor away from like button, we want to hide reactions pop-up. For that, again, let me add one more event, that is on mouse leave. So handle mouse leave. Okay, here when user moves cursor away from like button, I simply want to set that hovered post ID to null. I simply want to set that hovered post ID to null. Okay, for that, let me copy this and then set it to null. Why? Because before we display the reactions pop-up, we actually validating one condition, whether the hovered post ID as well as post ID is same or not. Then only we should display reactions pop-up for that post. Otherwise, we should hide the reactions pop-up. That is the reason when we hover over on like button, we are updating the state variable, that is hovered post ID state variable, with the respective post ID of that post. If it's moving away from like button, we are setting it to null so that we hide reactions pop-up. Okay, this is what we are doing with this event handler functions. But if you observe here, we should pass post ID, but we don't have access to our post data. For that, let me add or pass post data as property to post actions component. Why? Because inside post list component, we have access to each post data. If you see here, we have access to post data. So I simply pass that post data as property to post actions component. Let me save it and then access inside post actions component from here, post, and then here post.id. Okay, now let's save. Okay, we are now done with designing event handler functions or handling on mouse enter and then on mouse leave events. But we should design our reaction buttons component, right? Reaction buttons component. For that, let me go here. We already have a reaction buttons component which we designed in the previous series or previous videos. So simply what we gonna do is we're gonna slightly modify this component. Why? Because let me show you what is our target design. What is our target? If you see here inside reaction, when we hover over on like button, the reactions pop up. The reactions pop up contains only reactions, no count, but we are displaying the reactions and then count just above the action buttons as well as below the post content. For that, we want to slightly modify the reaction buttons component which we designed in previous videos, and then create one more component to show this count as well as reactions. For that, let me go to reaction buttons component. Here what I do is, let me create one more component, that is reactions, just to display the count as well as reaction. That is kind of read only. Okay, for that, let's copy this code. Let's copy the code from reaction buttons component and paste it here. Change the component name to reactions. Instead of reaction buttons, change it to reactions. Copy this and then update here as well. Now inside here, we don't want to give ability, or we don't want to give the user ability to perform any action on this reactions. This is for only read only. So I'm going to remove this event, on click event. Okay, and then we don't want to use the dispatch as well as event handler here. Okay, let me save and then go to reaction buttons. Here we want to display only reactions, no count. So for that, I am removing this span tag, and then update and then save it. Now let's go to post actions. Here, when user hover over on like button, we want to display the reactions pop up. Okay, we want to display the reactions pop up. For that, what I'm going to do is, just below this span, let me add a condition. That is forward post ID should be equal to the post ID. Then only we want to display reactions pop up. Okay. Inside this, let me call reaction buttons component, for which we should pass post data as property. Post data as property. Okay, now let me save and then go back to browser and then see. Now we go back to the browser and then see. This is target. Okay, in the base, let me check. Yeah, you see here, when we hover over on like button, we are now showing reactions pop up. When we move cursor away from like, we are actually hiding the reactions pop up. Okay, now we are done with implementing. But if you see, the position is not proper. So let me add some styles. We want to have a design like this. Okay, for that, let me add some styles. Okay, what we're going to do here is, let me add some styles to this div tag here. Yeah, class name, okay, class name, position absolute, left 0, top 4, background white, shadow, rounded full, we add border color gray, and then G10. This G10 is, this ensures that the reactions pop-up is on top of other elements, This G10 index, G10 property ensures that the reactions pop-up is on top of other elements. Let's save, and then go to browser. Okay, now it's showing, but all reactions are aligned vertically, not horizontally. Okay, let me check the style, and then change it to, okay, let me add flex here. Save it, then check. Let's go and check the browser. Yeah, now it looks good, but before that we should add some margin bottom for this reactions pop-up. Okay, reactions pop-up, margin bottom, oh, let's save, and then let's save, still let's save, then check. Okay, still we have to adjust margin, margins. Okay, let me do that, let me add chin bottom 6. Let me add margin bottom 6. Okay, yeah, it's looking somewhat good. But even still there is some uh, destruction. Okay, let me check what is the issue here. Okay, check what is the issue here. Go to post actions, then let me add some padding here instead of 1. Yep, let me, yeah, if you now see here, it's proper. Okay, now we are able to display reactions pop-up whenever user hover over on like button. Okay, hover over on like button. Let's click on it and then see. Yeah, now we are able to click also, or we are able to add each reaction. But the thing is we should display the reactions and its count just above the action buttons. Okay, for that let me add, we already created a component called reactions. Right? Let me copy this and then go to post list. Just above this post action buttons, add it. Okay, add it, for which again we should pass post data as property. Okay, post data as property. Let's save, and then come to application. Yeah, if you see here now, See, we are in base application. We are now even displaying the reactions and its count. Let's test whether it's working or not. Let me add this reaction. See, it increased from 8 to 9. The similar way, this one, same as this one. Okay, now reactions is working fine. Reactions is working fine. But we want to address here one thing, that is, whenever we move cursor away from like button, sometimes what happens is, if you move cursor away quickly, there is a chance of flickering issue. There is a chance of flickering issue. For that, what we can do is, let's go and debounce. Let's go to VS Code and then debounce event effect. That is on mouse leave effect. We want to debounce that effect slightly. So that we can solve that flickering effect. For that, what we're gonna do is, let's simply implement the debounce functionality using set timeout. Okay, using set timeout. Okay, here what we're gonna do is, we simply delay the effect slightly. So here what it happens is, whenever user leaves the like area, or user moves the mouse cursor away from like, this on mouse leave event effect takes little slow. It won't take effect immediately. So we are slightly delaying the effect. Of on mouse leave event. This is nothing but debouncing the event effect. Okay, let's save this. This is nothing but improving user experience, so that when user moves cursor or mouse, when user moves mouse very quickly, we don't see the flickering issue. By debouncing event effect. Slightly. Okay. Now let's go to browser and then see. Yeah. Now it's working fine. Okay. When we hover over on like button, we are displaying reactions pop-up. When we move cursor away from like, we are hiding reactions pop-up. This is for post list component, where we are displaying reactions pop-up. This is for post list component. So we implemented showing or displaying reactions pop-up inside post list component. If you click on here, we click on view post. See, here it's different. When we see, or when we go to single post, we are not seeing all the action buttons. For that, let me implement. Let me implement the same functionality inside single post page component. For that, simply copy this from here to this, copy, and then go here, replace this component with the copied one. Okay, let's save. Now go to browser. Okay, we got error, that is reactions not defined, post actions not defined. Okay, I think we forgot to import the two components. Let's import inside single post page component, reactions, and then post actions. Let's save, and then go to application. Yeah, now if you see here, we even added the functionality for a single post. When we want to see the post on its own page, there also we are showing the reactions pop-up as well as the action buttons. Okay, let's update something, and then whether it take effects in the post list component as well or not. We are incrementing the reactions. We are adding reactions here, and then see for second post, this should take effect in the post list component as well. We go to post list component, see, now it's working fine. It's working fine. With this, we are done with adding functionality to like button for each post, okay. This is kind of similar to what we have in a Facebook. In the next video, I will show you the functionality of comment box, the functionality when user clicks on comment button, okay. It's nothing but I will show you what we're going to implement in the coming videos or coming next video. That is, when user clicks on comment, user should be able to enter comment and then add reply to an existing comment. Along with that, add reply to an existing reply as well. So this is what we're gonna implement in the coming video, that is in next video. Today we are done with only the like button. We haven't implemented anything for comment button here. So that we're gonna implement in the next video. That's gonna look like this. So when user clicks on comment button, it simply displays a comment box and then existing comments, existing replies, okay, where you can add a new comment or reply to an existing comment or reply to an existing reply as well, okay. This is what we're gonna implement in next video. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please do subscribe and share with your friends. If you have anything, please drop in comment section. I will check. Thanks for watching.